Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to your reading for the week of September 30th. You have three cards, apparently. You have this bear tree. It says, don't waste your energy or efforts on something that is clearly not bearing fruit. You have this overcoming challenges. It says, a triumph will bring great change. Let yourself be open to victory. You have the scarab spirit. It says, what appears unusable may still have great value if you look deeper. So that's one heck of a combination there for you, Gemini. And I definitely wouldn't waste your time. You have the Eight of Swords. You know, that first card says, don't waste your efforts on something that is clearly not bearing fruit. So if you're doing something that is not working, then I feel the Eight of Swords is saying this is something that you need to set yourself free from because it is just a waste of time. And it's probably preventing you from working on something that could be more worth your time. Everybody has had the tower this week, pretty much, so I wouldn't really worry about the tower too much. It could just be, a global tower moment, which there will be many between now and 2033. So, again, something I wouldn't even worry about. But let's see where this reading is going. Again, I definitely feel, I kind of feel like some of you with the Eight of Swords have been working on something for like months, and it's just not producing a result. And so I feel for a lot of you that this is about focusing on your own success and, kind of like not wasting your time on something that is just a waste of time. I even feel if this message is for you, I feel like you kind of feel that what you're doing is a waste of time. And so I would be careful of that with the Ten of Swords. You have the Four Swords. Four Swords is about resting, relaxing, recovering. So a lot of you could be resting, relaxing, recovering, or healing with the Four Swords, and that would definitely be a good focus for you with this energy. He's hoping and praying for a blessing, and a lot of people have had this card as well. So it might just be a good time to, kind of ask for something that you want from the universe and see what happens, right? You have the Three of Swords, and again, we go Three of Swords, Five of Pentacles to the Tower. So some of you have definitely experienced a breakup or a separation here. It could even be in work or business as well. Again, you could have been let go from a job, or you could have lost a job or something. But I kind of see this here is messages from your future self, and I kind of feel like these two cards is going to be like a surprise opportunity. So it's like, yeah, maybe you did in the past experience a separation that was difficult or something like that. But I kind of feel that there could be a new person coming in with that Two of Cups, or it could even be a new like job offer or a new position that you've been waiting for, and this could be a good thing. So let's see. With the Eight of Swords, this changes things. I just dropped it. You have the Judgment card. So Judgment to the Tower is like a major revelation or a major wake-up call. I always say that those two together are like the most powerful combination in the tarot. So there could be like a major light bulb moment that you're having, or there could be a major revelation. The other thing I will say is that the Hierophant is the bridge between the heavens and the earth. He communicates with heaven and earth. He translates what he gets from, the heavens, and he speaks it into the earth. And so a lot of you could be gaining some like spiritual insight here with these three cards. You could be, you could be the Hierophant in this reading, even though the Hierophant is Taurus. It doesn't matter. Again, you could be the one that is like taking some sort of insight and, bringing it into the world. And so if you have any crazy, wacky ideas, I would definitely see what happens. With the Four Swords, you have the Ace of Swords, so some sort of victory or a new focus. The Judgment card. These people are rising up out of these coffins, and the coffin represents their old life. Outside their coffin is their new life. Aces represent something new usually, so I feel for a lot of you, there could be a new focus in your life, and it could lead to a victory. And again, this could come from like a sudden insight or, a sudden idea with the Tower or something like that. So definitely this is what I would pay attention to. I also feel, obviously, again, you have that bear tree. It says, don't waste your energy on efforts on something that is clearly not bearing fruit. And so the Ace of Swords is the only card in the tarot that, is a card in the tarot that can represent making a sacrifice. Sometimes with the Ace of Swords, we have to cut something out of our life, and then we have to move on to something else. And then you have the Tower. It's like you could be causing a tower for other people, especially if you're working in a group that isn't working or something like that, and if you're leaving. With the Three of Swords, you have the Eight of Swords. I kind of feel like you are afraid of breaking people's hearts. Again, this does not have to be love. Like, some of you might, I kind of get the feeling, could be working with a group of people here with the Three of Cups, or it could be a job. And it's like maybe the thing that's keeping you stuck is you're afraid of, like, hurting someone's feelings, or you're afraid of making people upset, or whatever the case may be. But I kind of feel that for some of you, the Tower is like an uncomfortable Tower moment, in the sense that you're going to have to leave something that isn't working, even if it makes people sad, right? It's like, I really do feel, and I feel like I've been saying this to you for months now, Gemini, that a lot of your readings seem to say that you need to be more worried about yourself than other people. And, we're not talking about like being a jerk here or anything, but, I feel like you do need to be more focused on yourself. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have the stars and timing card. You also have this magical protection card. So I feel like you are protected. Wouldn't even worry about the Tower, like I said. And I also feel like you are kind of like waiting for something with this energy. I kind of feel like you need to stop waiting and get started on something that you've been thinking about working on. You have the Hierophant, the Five of Pentacles, and the Three of Cups. The Hierophant is, again, being able to communicate with both sides. I do feel that some of you could be having, like I said, a major revelation, or like a sudden insight with the Judgment and the Tower card, because, they're both showing up here together and the Hierophant is in between them. And so the Hierophant can represent a blessing. He's blessing these two people in front of him, and they're being initiated into something in usually his belief system. And so I definitely feel that. The other thing I would say is that you have the Eight of Swords twice, and then you have the Tower, and so the Hierophant can be inside the box thinking, and sometimes with inside the box thinking, if we're too focused on doing things only one way, we will have a Tower moment to break us out of routine. And so for some of you, I feel the Hierophant is also saying it's time to think outside the box. You have the Five of Pentacles, again, the Bear Tree card, right? Five of Pentacles says, do not call attention to your weaknesses, but Five of Pentacles is about feeling left out in the cold. I just feel like some of you are doing something that's just like not worth your time, or you're doing something that isn't going to fulfill you or move you forward in any way. I also feel that there are better things that you could be focused on. It's like if you're working with like a group of people or something on a project, but your time, effort, or energy would be better used somewhere else, then I feel like the Five of Pentacles is kind of saying that you're cheating yourself out of abundance or success. So, I think that's something to think about. Again, like I said, Five of Pentacles, I think has very easy solution. And the solution to this card is to double down on the good stuff, double down on things that you're good at, and don't try to focus on things that you're not good at, because that will hold you back. You have the Three of Cups. Three of Cups is, of course, your community and people who support you. I feel like you should be focusing more on people who support you. This is also a card of a harvest as well. These three women here are celebrating a harvest, and so I feel for a lot of you that it would be a good time for you to celebrate any abundance or a harvest that is coming in for you here. Or you will be celebrating a harvest. With the Hierophant, you have the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is like fortune after difficulty, good things happening to you, happy home, happy family. If you do want love, there definitely could be a new connection coming in for you, and this could be a person who wants to have a family. Again, I do feel if you are meeting a new person, it could be a little surprising in a sense. You have the Two of Cups, and Two of Cups represents a person who is usually very different than your usual type. So again, that could be the thing that is surprising about the connection, is that it's just a person you wouldn't normally go for, but maybe you give a person a chance and it works out really well. With the Five of Pentacles, you have the Four of Swords. Yes, again, I feel like you need to fix your own stuff, is what this reading is saying. It's actually very simple, right? I think that if you're giving other people like free energy and paying attention to them and working with them, but they're not giving you anything, then I think you're kind of being cheated. And I think that if you spend more time focusing on yourself, focusing on your own blessings, and focusing on creating your own blessings, then better things will happen for you, and you'll also be putting yourself in a better position. It's like, I think you need to look at where you stand, Gemini. It's like, I always say this to people. It's like if you have a lot of skills and you're like way up here, and then like someone way down here wants your help on their like business or something, or wants help or wants you to work with them, it usually doesn't work out very well, right? Because it's like there's just too much of a gap in what the two people know. It's like you bring a lot, you're going to end up doing more work than this person, right? And this is not a criticism. People always say to me, how dare you say that someone is down here and someone's up here? I'm like, get over yourself, okay? Because, clearly people have very different skill levels. And sorry, but, we don't live in Sesame Street where we all hold hands, sing Kumbaya, and everybody's exactly the same. It doesn't work like that. So what I would say is, of course, people have different skills. And there really is no benefit to helping a person who doesn't have the skills. Not a criticism, doesn't say they're a bad person or anything like that. It just says that you're kind of cheating yourself if you do that. And again, you only have so much time in the day. So I feel like some of you need to make sure that you're actually helping a person, right? With the Three of Cups, you have the Hangman. Hangman is about seeing things from a new perspective. I kind of feel like you're seeing a person from a new perspective going this way. You do have the Devil, but the Devil's coming up in the good stuff. And so it could just be like a Capricorn or something like that you're attracting into your life. The Devil, we'll talk about that when we get there. But this right here, the Three of Cups could be like a friend, so it's like if you're interested in a friend, or maybe you are, this could be one of those things where you're becoming interested in a friend, and you're seeing them from a new perspective. So definitely could be a friend. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have a Bull card. It says masculinity, objectivity, and leadership. You have a Mantis card. It says fearlessness, flexibility, and battle. So, both of these cards are kind of masculine when you think about it. It's like fearlessness, battle, and you have this masculinity card. So embracing that energy of like taking the lead, embracing your masculine side more as well could be very beneficial. Like just going for something, making things happen, taking action, all that stuff seems to be popping out here with these two cards, and I think that would be very beneficial. You have the Tower, the Two of Cups, and the Moon. Like I said, I feel like the Tower could just be a sudden insight or like a revelation that's happening for you. I always say the whole point of the Tower is that these people have been ignoring reality, and now they're coming down to reality. And it's really not a bad thing. For the most part, I feel it's a good thing for you that you are coming down to reality. It's like you're seeing things for how they actually are. And, this allows you to be much more successful. I also do feel that there could be like a surprise connection, like I said, with the Two of Cups. For some of you, this could be a friend, where it's like maybe you've never really looked at them like this, but it's like maybe they're kind of growing on you or something like that. Or maybe you've seen, sometimes I think we meet a person and it's like the more we spend time with them, they kind of open up and we see who they really are. And maybe they're like an amazing person. You're like, oh my God, I'm in love with my best friend or something like that. So that definitely could be a possibility for some of you. For others, I feel it's someone you don't even know. So for some of you, it's a friend, and I think if it is, you already know. So if you don't know this, then I would say it's a completely new person, and I feel like it's going to be something that starts as conversation or just kind of talking. With the Two of Cups, usually with the Two of Cups, we just start communicating, and that's how it starts. And again, I think it could be surprising because, again, it's probably like a person who's different than your usual type. You have the Moon. It's like nobody knows the future, and I feel like that's what the Moon is saying in your reading. Is it saying nobody knows the future? The whole point of the Moon is it represents like fears, fantasies, illusions. It's part of the Fool's journey. He can't really see where he's going because it's nighttime, but he kind of can see because it's a full moon. But the illusion part is like if you've ever been outside on a full moon, the full moon casts shadows. So he doesn't really know the Fool we're talking about, which is you in the reading. I follow the Fool's journey with the reading, and he doesn't really know like what is real, what is not real, but he has to keep going, and he has to realize the moon is temporary. The moon comes up, the moon goes down, the sun comes up. So I feel for a lot of you, this is saying if there are any illusions, the truth will be revealed over time. With the Tower, you have the Moon and the Emperor, which is masculine energy, right? So this would be about balancing out the masculine side of things. The feminine, the Moon is feminine. So again, for some of you, it's like maybe you have your feminine side perfectly well balanced, right? And that's like the creative side and, the creation side, the manifestation side. And maybe what you need to balance out is your Emperor energy. You're bossing up, taking action, snapping necks and cashing checks. And that side of you, right? With the Two of Cups, you have the Six of Pentacles. I would try it. I feel like this would be worth the risk. It's like Six of Pentacles is planting seeds, seeing how things go. So, and maybe that's what surprises you here is that with the Two of Cups, it's like you meet a person. Six of Pentacles would be a small investment, like you just put in a little bit of time with a person. And again, I feel like this is something that could surprise you. So again, I think it would be worth it to, if you meet a person, you're like, I kind of like this person, but they're different than what I would normally go for. I feel like this is saying it would be worth it. With the Moon, you have the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is about disappointment and sadness and regrets. But again, fives have very easy solutions in the tarot. He just needs to be grateful for these Two Cups. Then he gets the bridge and the castle. And he is grieving the loss of something that he no longer enjoys. So he doesn't even like the wine that he is crying for anymore. And so it really says you have to let go of things that no longer serve you. And that's what I would do with this card. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Fork in the Road card and this Flexible card. You have two cards. This Mantis card also said flexibility on it. So I do feel we are in a time where being flexible is a really good idea. I don't really feel that Gemini has much of a problem with this. If anything, I feel like Geminis are too flexible. Like I'm a Gemini moon and I look at all sides of everything that I do and I research things from every single perspective to the point where then because I research something too much, I just don't do it, right? And so I think Gemini does this too much. And but again, I think flexibility is a little bit of a superpower right now. The Fork in the Road card kind of says that moving in the new direction or moving towards the new path is going to be the one that leads to the most success. You have the Devil, the Temperance card, and the Hangman. The Devil and the good stuff can represent several things. It can say that you're getting to work, which would be a good thing, especially with Jupiter's going retrograde in your sign on the 9th, right? And so Jupiter retrograde, Jupiter, no matter what it's doing, is considered positive, right? And so it doesn't matter if it's forwards or backwards, doesn't matter if it's being squared or anything like that. For the most part, most astrologers consider Jupiter just positive, period. So I would say, for the most part, probably a good thing. Here's the thing that I would say to you is I said this the other day with the lovely Bonnie when I did a reading with her the other day. I said that I think that Gemini needs to look at the other side of the fence. Gemini is really good at sitting on a fence, looking at both sides of an issue and kind of weighing up the options, right? But I think that maybe you've explored one side of something and now you need to explore the other. It's funny that there's so much masculine energy showing up at the end of the reading, right? It's saying, it's basically saying embrace the masculine. And so I'm wondering, maybe you've been doing more of the kind of behind the scenes, feminine work, if that makes sense. Probably not. I'm sure someone's going to roast me for that, right? And now it's time to explore the other side, taking action on what you've been researching or maybe what you've been doing behind the scenes. And I really just feel the devil is talking about the balance of those two things. So there you go. You have the Temperance card, balance, bringing things into balance. He's pouring those two cups together, so I feel that. I would also say I kind of feel that the Temperance card in your reading is saying that you are looking a little bit more on the bright side. The Temperance card, he can turn a negative into a positive, and I feel that's what you're doing, is you're turning more of the negatives into positives in your life, and that just will create a better life. You have the Hangman. Yeah, I kind of feel like new perspective is your secret sauce here, is looking at the other side of the fence. Like I said, it's you've been exploring something from one perspective, and so exploring it from another perspective would be a good idea. Maybe it's a friend. Maybe you've only been exploring them with clothes on, and now it's time to explore with those clothes off. I don't know, right? I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I feel this is saying new perspective. Maybe you've only been researching a business idea. Now it might be time to Six of Pentacles, plant a couple seeds and see what happens. And very simple reading. I literally feel that's what the reading is saying. It's time to explore things from the other side. With the Devil, you have the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is a card of wish fulfillment, happiness, being in alignment. Really good card. So that's all I feel there. You could also be cutting something toxic out of your life. Just a little side note here. Judgment, Hierophant, Tower, this could be a past person who's trying to return to your life, and that could be the Tower, because maybe you don't want to talk to them. And the Nine of Cups would say that, again, like I've been saying this whole reading, you should be focusing on yourself and your own fulfillment. That's what the Nine of Cups does. With the Temperance card, you have the Ace of Cups. Yeah, definitely could be a love offer, for sure, coming in for you. I would say this is two people who mix very well together. We have the Two of Cups. Temperance is mixing together two cups. So, this could be an overflowing connection that's coming in for you. With the Hangman, what do you know? You have the Empress. So we have the Emperor and the Empress showing up here, divine counterparts. So if you're looking for love, definitely could be a solid connection. I would also say, if you are or you aren't, doesn't really matter. These two represent balancing out the masculine and the feminine, which we were talking about. Normally, like in a reading, if I only see the Emperor, I'll tell people that I'm reading for, you need to balance out your feminine, because it's kind of like saying you're only acting from your masculine. Same thing with the Empress. If she only shows up, I say you need to balance out your masculine. But you have both, which says maybe you're balancing both sides out. You have this Forest card. It says muddled, unclear thinking. I don't know. Wouldn't even worry about it. Again, I feel like maybe sometimes Gemini is always confused. So, whatever, right? You have this flag card. It says, don't be tempted to lower your standards. Yes, definitely. I feel that you should be kind of like, and again, this is what we're talking about, right? There's nothing wrong with helping a person. That's not what I'm saying. Like, someone always comes at me when I say this. They're like, how dare you say that someone is less than I am? And I'm like, whatever. It's just the truth. Some people have more skills than others. And sorry, again, we're not in preschool. If you don't understand that, too bad. But what I would say is, like, it's not really helping a person. It's like, if I were to help a person, like, build a YouTube channel, like, one-on-one, it really wouldn't help them, because there's so many things you have to learn on the journey, right? It's like, so I can still help the person by, like, having a YouTube channel like I do on the Chris Reck channel, where I give away all my secrets there, right? But it's not really going to help a person if I do everything for them. If they've never done it, they're not going to learn anything. So, again, I think that's what this card is saying. It's like saying it's nice to help a person, but are you really helping them, or are you crippling them by preventing them from learning the things that they need to learn? You have this Wind Chimes card that says peace and harmony on it. I would focus on maintaining your peace and harmony. You have this arrow. It says you're on the right path regarding some aspect of your life. Yeah, I feel like you could be becoming, like, enlightened to your path. You have that the fork in the road card, Hangman, really good cards of enlightenment. You have this mule. It says someone is extremely stubborn and unwilling to change, probably a past person. So I would just ignore them, plain and simple. But pretty interesting reading, very simple as well. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.